Evolution. It is one of the most complex parts of nature, yet it's in a sense the least species, and never will be seen again. And the dream of seeing them is far from reality. That is, was, until now. We are in a remote series of islands all containing prehistoric life. This is a Spinosaurus. Though it isn't Spinosaurus aegypticus, it is another species that was absent from the Mesozoic but has evolved more recently in the Eocene. He can't be unnamed, so he will be called Snare due to the way he hunts. He is tracking down his summer lake. It is one of the only places on the island that retains its water in the dry season. But he seems agitated. Perhaps it is because the humidity is considerably lower than usual as the island is in the heat of the dry season. No, it is the presence of a large carnivore, a Carcharodontosaurus to be precise. She too is following the track to the lake. We will call her Charlie. She has no mate though. Instead of pairing in the spring and summer, Carcharodontosaurs mate in the winter because that's when weak creatures tend to die, making it easier to nurture their young. But this is Snare's lake. Charlie watches from the bushes waiting for the right moment to go down to drink. But the problem is, the lake is dried up. Snare scavenges through the arid lake. All that's left is a small puddle. The island is currently having a heatwave and the lake has dried up. Usually this lake is deep even in hot weather. You can see where the water used to be on the dry banks. Charlie makes her slow descent down the rising. This is easier said than done and she finds it hard to keep her balance. But it's too late. Snare has spotted her and growls a warning signal. Charlie ignores this warning and continues to the puddle. But now Snare roars and Charlie is threatened by this. She is a juvenile, but even still, she knows not to fight a dinosaur much larger than herself. While the two dinosaurs are down at the lake, an earlier and rarer creature than them basks in the heat of the sun. It is a Dimetrodon, but not the species from the Permian. This species has evolved scales and become more reptile-like, as scales are stronger than skin. But this has its drawbacks. For example, Dimetrodons are now more prone to parasites as they can get underneath the scales. Dinosaurs have evolved defences for this, but the scales on Dimetrodon are fairly newly evolved. There is a tick visible on this individual, but strangely there are no scars on the sail. Most likely it is because it has avoided fights, but the price of this is most Dimetrodons rarely have territory bigger than 100 square meters. After soaking the UV rays from the sun, the Dimetrodon, which we will call Beam, is ambling towards his favourite ambush spot, behind a small patch of scrub. The opening is where many small herbivores like to graze. After half an hour, an elusive creature, the Anzu, comes into the opening to fold and grazing seeds. Beam slowly walks to the last of the scrub. Then when the time is right, he pounces, much like a scaly-sailed tiger. He gallops towards the Anzu and takes a bite in the right leg, then starts scratching the creature until it is dead. After almost a week of starving, the creature gets a small but decent meal. Thank you for watching. Next time, we will see terror unfold in the woodland.